Hi, everybody, and welcome to our last stop on our journey through Primo Levi's The Truce. I'd like to begin this last session by looking at the end of the novel. Levi writes, I reached Turin on October 19th after 35 days of travel. The house was standing, all the family alive. No one expected me. I was swollen, bearded and ragged, and a difficulty in making myself recognized. So the first thing we learn is that no one is the same at the end of their journey as they were setting out. The house might still be standing, his family might be the same, but the traveler is no longer recognizable to others, but also to himself. The next thing we learn straight after this is that on this kind of journey, no return is absolute. No return is definitive. Levi is haunted after coming back by a dream within a dream. This is the dream he has. Everything collapses and is destroyed around me. The scene, the walls, the people, and the anguish becomes more intense and more precise. Everything has now turned into chaos. I am alone at the center of a gray and murky void. And yes, I know what this means. And I also know that I've always known it. I'm again in the lager, and nothing outside the lager was true. The rest was a brief holiday or a trick of the senses, a dream. This disjunction of inner and outer realities, the fact that something can be over externally while still going on inside, is one of the chief problems that this book addresses. It's something that when it takes on a medical form is called post-traumatic stress disorder. But it's a basic truth of human experience that happens at all sorts of levels and to very different extents. Here it's represented in the form of a dream in a book that ends with the word wake up. And in fact, sleeping, dreaming, and waking is a theme that runs constantly throughout the book, right from the first pages, and as one of the ways to think through the various journeys that are happening. One of these journeys is the journey towards matching external and internal realities, the lived world and the dream world, a voyage of bringing the mind and the outside world together. And in this sense, I think it's very important to read this book not just as an account of the 9 months of traveling that are recounted on the surface in the plot, but also as an account, a kind of coded account of the intervening 17 years that elapsed between Levi's experiences and the moment of writing this book. If you think of the title, The Truce, with the full weight of this intervening time on it, if we think of the title as something being bestowed on these experiences in retrospect, we can interpret it as maybe the one moment in his life in which he didn't have to think about Auschwitz all the time. So only the first 2 chapters of this book, The Thaw and The Big Camp, were drafted in the 1940s. The rest were all written between 1961 and 1962, so a long time after. And this brings itself to bear on the novel. The psychological journey that Levi had traveled in the meantime is narrated through the surface story of the physical trip from Auschwitz through many deviations to Turin.